Joining us now via Zoom, I see Aron Lorenz, the mayor of Sylvan Lake, and I think we're also going to be talking to John Martin. We don't see John, but I think we can hear him via Zoom. Mayor Lorenz, thank you for joining us on the Megacast.
Thank you for having us. We're looking forward to talking to you, and thank you for the services that you do for our community.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. So, Mayor and City Manager John Martin, we can't see you, but we hopefully can hear you. Thank you for being with us. So, we're seeing that we're getting closer to a situation where things might start to get back to normal. We're beginning to flatten the curve just a little bit. We're not there yet, but we're beginning. President talking about states around the country that can begin to open up and others that aren't quite there yet. It's probably our case in Michigan, but we talked to the DNR. They're making plans. The state is making plans. The county's making plans. Mayor Lorenz, does that filter all the way down to our local communities as we get ready to open up?
Well, we will be following the recommendations of our federal government, and then ultimately the state of Michigan will make the decision about when we reopen our businesses and our economy. We have Governor Whitmer, who has stated that, we're going to go ahead and open these businesses using scientific evidence and follow what the experts say. So it's going to be interesting what happens here, because I'm sure, as many of the people are aware, we have, states that are in our group of states that are working together, like Wisconsin, that's extended their stay-at-home order up until May 20th or something of this nature. And, we have to see where the science takes us and how the curve flattens before we, move forward and open things up. And it's going to be interesting to see how the governor goes ahead and opens these businesses up. Right now we have things like only 4 people per 1,000 square feet of space in a retail facility. And, we don't know what she's going to do when she reopens up these businesses.
Well, I know everyone wants to get back to normal, but you're right. You got to do it carefully. Joining us also is the city manager of Sylvan Lake, John Martin. We can't see you, but I think we can hear you. John, are you there?
I am here.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for being here. We hear you, and we see Mayor Lorenz. So, Mayor Lorenz, you could just move your mouth when John is talking. Then it'll all work out fine. Hey, John, do you want to add anything to that? To what Mayor Lorenz said about getting back to quote unquote the new normal?
Well, as he said, everybody's looking forward to it, and you said too. People are starting to get a little antsy, and we're all very anxious, but we also have to be just so careful that we don't have a flare up or something like that. I think that everybody's learned that the social distancing is so important, and I would expect that as things open up again, that will maintain, and people are going to be very, very careful for a long time, I think. We're all anxious. Yep.
No, go ahead. Forgive me. I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue your thought.
Well, I was just going to say it's everybody wants to get back to normal. And as far as what we're doing in Sylvan Lake, the mayor said it absolutely correctly. We're following the state and the county. We're in contact with the county regularly, getting updates and things like that.
Could be, and I'm just speculating right now. And it could be an interesting year for our Lakes area communities in Oakland County. In particular, we've already seen that the governor is going to be very cautious about exposing people in the southern part of the state to people in the northern part of the state because of the capacity of hospitals there. So it may be, as we come out of this, that folks looking for a boating and lake experience and some of the recreation that may not be available in northern Michigan, that they're going to stay a little bit closer to home. What do you think about that, Mayor Lorenz?
Well, I think it's going to be very, very interesting on how we proceed. Our business that I'm involved with, we work with, we have a number of international partners. Our headquarters is based out of Germany. We have partners in Hong Kong, in Shanghai, Malaysia. And I think when you look at what we're going to do, you have to look at the rest of the world. And I find it interesting. We hear the news about Germany opening up next week.
Sure.
And it sounds like, okay, Germany's just going to open up when you hear this news. But the reality of it is Germany isn't just opening up. They're opening up schools, and they're opening up small businesses. When you look at pictures of Beijing, which I looked at earlier this morning that are posted on earlier today, the streets aren't that full. Everybody is wearing a mask. So, this tells you that it's not normal in China still today. You look at places like South Korea and Malaysia, they're not only social distancing, wearing masks, but they're actually tracking where everybody is on their cell phones and basically having interconnection of the apps on the phone, so that if I was on a subway train with somebody that was tested positive, I'm going to be alerted on my phone that I was potentially, in proximity to somebody with the virus. And then it's my job to basically social distance so that I don't affect somebody else. And I think that's what we have to really realize here, that the most important thing is not only are we trying to protect ourselves, but we're trying to protect our neighbors. We're trying to protect our emergency workers. We're trying to protect essential employees. And so when we open up, we have to really be careful to make sure that we're not careless and potentially infect some friends and neighbors and other critical people that were around.
Aron Lorenz, the mayor of Sylvan Lake, very well said. I couldn't agree more. We have to be smart. The government's going to give us some guidelines, but it's up to each person to implement those appropriately and make sure we do the right thing. And in our individual case, it may be staying at home and not going out at all if we're sick, and or it may be, interpreting these rules in a way that makes more sense for each and every one of us. I really appreciate and like what you say. In Sylvan Lake, you guys have been doing a really good job. By the way, Mayor Lorenz, you got a great backdrop there on Zoom. It looks really good. And John Martin, city manager, you've been conducting Zoom meetings. So, we all adjust. How's that going? And are you having to make other adjustments in Sylvan Lake in addition to just the way you're holding meetings?
Well, we have downsized our workforce too with the stay home, stay safe order. So 4 of our 6 employees, City Hall employees, are at home. The DPW, as Jim was saying earlier, our DPW is off. They come in twice a week to empty trash and check our lift stations and things like that. Of course, they'll come in case there's an emergency water issue, sewer issue. But City Hall itself we're trying to maintain things as usual, but very short-staffed, which makes it difficult. And of course, not being able to come into City Hall and pick up things like dog tags and all our park stuff makes it interesting too. But we're working. Things are actually moving along quite well. We're adapting daily as new things come up. So we've had to make some good changes, but so far so good.
All right, well, best to you. I look forward to seeing both of you in person real soon and enjoying a probably 6-foot distanced get together, and we'll all get through this. Thank you both for joining us. Sorry we've run out of time. City Manager John Martin, good to hear from you. Aron Lorenz, Mayor of Sylvan Lake, you're looking good, my friend. You look healthy, and I hope everything is well. Thank you for your thoughts today on the program.
Thank you very much for having us. You have a safe day.